Hello and welcome to the Nordic KeyForge podcast. My name is Jason the Captain Kirk, learning how to speak again. And I'm here with my co-host, Karl, well overdressed Karl, also known as Algernon. How you doing, Karl?
I'm doing good.
Before we introduce our special guest, have you had... How are you? Are you feeling well today?
I'm good in general. Just had some microphone crisis here. I have been looking for my microphone for the past 2 days. Now that I found it, I see my kids actually broke it. So my voice might be even worse than usual today.
That's fine. Well, I mean, if if people don't recognize it, then I've done a good job with post production. So
Yeah, or maybe they think that I'm Hydro or something. That could also be the case.
You could do that as well, yeah. But let's introduce our special guest. First time on the podcast, Emperor Riku, also known as Riku. Dialing in straight all the way from Vietnam. Hey, Riku, good to see you.
Hello everyone, I'm good to see you too as well. It has been my honor to be on this podcast.
Awesome. Well,
very nice to have you.
So pleased that we finally come on. I think I reached out to you at the end of last season to say come on and talk about winning the KeyForge League, the most prestigious award, unofficial award in KeyForge, and it's taken us until the start of the next season to actually get this done. But we're here. We've done it in classic Nordic KeyForge podcast. Better late than never, right?
Yeah, and the good thing is that Riku has had time to win another big trophy while waiting for us to get him on here. So that's good.
He has. So before we get to know you, we are going to do the world famous "How was your Forge night?" So how's the last 2 weeks for you been, Riku, in KeyForge?
The last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks, or the last period of KeyForge. What have you been doing in KeyForge? KFPL win.
Last week I play the KFPL final with Nova, and then I have to spend all my time to prepare for the Vietnam Store Championship, which happened this weekend. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to organize 2 store championship in 2 different cities, so it's a bit busy, but
okay.
I
get
different
store championships.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So in Vietnam we have two cities, and then and only one LGS, and in each city, and then I have to try to communicate with both of them, and then
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get to play yourself or just organize?
For this weekend I will play actual. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, great, cool. So tell us about the KFPL win. So because there were 4 finalists, weren't there, in this KFPL? There are 4 finals in this KeyForge Premier League.
Yeah.
3 finals.
So yeah.
Which was the event the final that you won?
In the bracket B, and then I play again Nova. Yeah. And in the other 2 bracket I lost very badly, so I have nothing to say about that. I lost 1 game to Aganon here. And then luckily for me, I have again Kadek that when 11 win, and then I 11 win, I get into the final, and then I gone again Nova as well.
Yeah, Riku got so many wins that he actually broke my spreadsheet sorting because we weren't expecting it to go to 2 digits. So, but he went the long way in the losers bracket with the left column, nice. And that was impressive.
Wow! So you came through the losers bracket to win.
Yeah, I lost very early in the second round, I think, and then I have to play on the way from the loser bracket.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of one that's like I can see a Hollywood remake of this. Riku wins a true underdog story. Well, congratulations for that win. We're going to talk more about the Store Championship stuff and the awesome job you're doing in Vietnam later on the interview, because that's really, really interesting about the fact that, you know, the stuff that you're doing there is absolutely fantastic. Karl, your Fortnite. Let's get our stuff out the way quickly, and then we can focus on Riku again.
Yeah, so my fortune has been, I played in ABR, the playoffs. My team actually very narrowly got into the playoffs as the fourth team, I think. And I got to play Archon in my, the way it works is everyone is assigned a specific format. And then you play basically a single elimination, small 4-player tournament in your format. So I won my first match versus B-Hawk. It was Scholar Spam, crazy Scholar Spam from both decks, and I just happened to get the most scholars out the earliest. So that was nice. I'm going to play Dr. Cheap in the final there for Archon this weekend. And then we have the KeyForge Team League that me and Riku has been organizing, where I've been assigned the adaptive role, and so far, so good. I've won my games thus far.
Yeah. I mean, you were lucky in your first game.
Yeah, very, very lucky.
Yeah.
I beat a superior opponent there, but yeah, sometimes you have to be lucky.
Yeah. Cool.
How about you, Jason?
Yeah, my season for the NKFL started off brilliantly. I'm through to the next round of one of the cups. I can't remember which one. I still haven't played a game, but someone dropped, so I go through. So still haven't played a game, and I've been promoted and through to the next round of the cup. So I'm having the best season of my life.
Perfect.
However, KeyForge Team League, I've lost. I did lose for the first 2 weeks, but I won in my previous game, actually against one of your colleagues or friends, Riku, in Vietnam, Gould. I won 2-0.
Nice.
Versus his mass mutation, which I did not expect to even win one of those games. So I bought Captain Trouble and Tragedy, which is my Dark Tidings Captain Val Jericho deck, and I drew so well to begin with, and Val Jericho came out turn one, and I could just cycle and get through my deck so quickly. And I had every answer at the right time for when he brought out Decilius, for when he brought out all of his big mass mutations spamming, etc., etc. I could just deal with it. But then when we played the reverse game, I again had the draw. I kept Decilius out most of the game, and he was just taking care of everything. Yeah, the only key that he did forge was I thought, okay, well I'll hit KeyFrog anyway because he's going to forge for 6, and so he can't raise I can't raise the key cost or stuff like that. So he's going to do it anyway. So why not do it now? And then I could just push on and kind of control the game. So I drew very well both games. So I'm talking about that win because I won a game. So yeah.
But I think that's pretty much like one of the best feelings in KeyForge when you play adaptive and you are the underdog and you win the first game.
Yeah, exactly. And like winning with like a Dark Tidings deck, which you need to be it needs to draw okay to come off, and against a crazy mass mutation deck, like I say, Decilius, 3 Daughters, and a whole load of Star Alliance. I can't remember the Star Alliance card it had in it, but it was a very good mass mutation deck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dark Tidings did its job, and I'm loving that deck more and more. Yeah,
nice.
So that was my Forge Night. Over nice and quickly. Simon will be happy. He never listens to the podcast anyway, the ones he's not in. So It doesn't matter. He will never know, but Zaramis would be happy. Now we can get to know Riku. We have 4 questions. 3 questions for you. What is your favorite house and set?
My answer is very generic because my favorite house is logos.
Yep, good man.
I think everyone like it maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Logos is mine. Is yeah.
yeah, and because I like the consistency of the when I play a deck. I like how solid it can perform every game. So yeah, and logos is the how for that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep. And a set. Do you have a favorite set?
I start the game as mass mutation, so obviously I like mutation the most.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Nice.
I actually don't own any. I mean many deck from the set 1, 2, 3. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I've got a ton of Worlds Collide you can have.
But you
Most of
know,
them got Globnar in, I will say.
in Vietnam, it will be very difficult for me to find stock from for the other sets. So
Yeah.
when
So
I
so how was
start,
the
yeah,
distribution in Vietnam for the first 3 sets? Was there a
uh,
KeyForge in Vietnam then?
no, yeah, there is KeyForge in Vietnam, but we have no official distributor for both game and card game as well. So most likely we have to buy it from some with the American websites like
Ah, okay.
miniature market. Yeah,
All right, right.
and then
Yeah,
but it's got a lot. It's got a lot because we have to pay for it, and then we have to pay for the shipping for the international shipping, and then we also have to pay for the stock. So usually we have to pay a lot for just
Oh
play
wow. Yeah.
both game and other. Yeah,
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Great. Favorite card?
yeah. My favorite card is I think it's Ultra Vision because my first deck ever when I pulled it had Ultra Vision in there. And then it's the first time I have learned that they a concept about the two different cards that can compete combine together into one, and then I was like, oh, it's cool, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, and then also luckily that the Ultra Vision is the strongest among the three gigantic,
Yeah.
so I got hooked into it.
So, do you have any like league decks or anything with Ultra Gravitron in it?
Yeah, the first deck I pulled for now until now I still use it for during all of my NK uh, uh on my Hexat lineup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. They're really. Yeah. I've never appreciated the gigantic creatures as much when they first came out because I really felt like they could be destroyed quite quickly in mass mutation. Like they come out and there was a lot of removal, but now they're not as easy to get rid of. I found it quite difficult to get rid of Decilius for a few turns against that mass mutation type before, for example.
Yeah.
So I think the gigantic creatures are kind of
Yeah,
coming in their own now
but
recently.
also because I think the most value of Ultra Vision is the play effect. So even if my
Yeah.
opponent can kill it, it doesn't matter because I already archive 5 cards, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's
definitely.
insane value for sure.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
of my like chase decks would be one of these double Ultra Gravitron decks with 2 copies of them. That would be nice to have, I think.
yeah, I think second art, you know second art, right? The
Yeah.
player, yeah, he also own a very solid double Ultra Vision.
Yeah.
I played with it a few times, and yeah, the ability to high roll in the deck is very high.
Indeed.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
high rolling is yeah, definitely cool. So do you play a lot of different competitive leagues and formats? Like obviously your favorite is Nordic Hexad because obviously. No, but do you have a favorite league or format, or do you play how many different leagues are you actually playing in?
I think I play every format that that I have know, but I only interesting in format that let me uh, pick a lineup like giant and then headshot, and then I can also ban pick because I think I am a better strategist than a player. So if any format that let me repair before the match, I
Mm.
think I do better than just an icon.
Mm.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that's
yeah, so
interesting.
that's why I think I like headshot the most. I have to thank
Mm.
Atron and Atron for introduce me to into the NKFL.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Cool. Well, let's start talking about NKFL then. Let's go into that. Karl, do you want to take on some of these questions?
Uh, I have to find the questions. Where did you
I
post
realize.
that,
Come
Jason?
on, I realize I've been talking for and asking too many of the questions. And thinking, well, if we're going to do this interview properly, you need to ask some questions too.
Yeah,
Thinking
but
you had them ready.
I mean, I should. I posted them somewhere. Let me find.
Yeah, you wrote most of these questions.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know. But this microphone crisis has let me like. I've been
Yeah,
distracted by other things. Sorry.
it's fine. We can cut this. I
Um,
won't, but we can.
yeah, yeah. But I will have them here. I'll put them in the Google Doc.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see here.
Cool. We need some elevator music now.
Um, so actually, when did you? When this is not on the form, but when did you enter NKFL? Like what season? Do you remember?
Season 16. Yeah, yeah, season 16. And this is the only season that we don't play in the system right now. Is instead
Ah,
we, we, we play the bracket and
yeah.
like
When we
yeah,
reshifted everything, yeah,
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 true.
that also I plan because I got in season 16 for the first time, and then I got third, I think. Yeah, I got third, and then after that in the season 17, Sizot decide to put people into division, follow the result of the 16.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
yeah,
he throw me in goal with in the highest division at that time.
yeah,
So
yeah.
ah,
So
yeah,
you you benefited straight from coming
I
in.
haven't been promoted in NKFL from the start.
I
So you know
see.
you've never been promoted. You've
Yeah,
just, you came in at the right side.
yeah,
Okay, wow, wow.
and I stay there. I also yeah I stay in the goal, and then after that the Cesar make the diamond division, and then I just move on from there.
Yeah, and then you have stayed in Diamond since then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
17, 18, 19. Yeah, so 7 season I think.
that's impressive.
wow.
Impressive stuff.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's really impressive. I mean, I think Hydro stayed in the top for the first 7, 8 seasons, or maybe longer as well.
Yeah, that was for a very
But
long
then
time.
that was before we let the international people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's also impressive is obviously your win last season. Could you like describe that journey that you had that season?
Yeah, overall it was a great season. All of my opponents, of course, are very tough. It's diamond after all, so I was very happy that I won again almost everyone except for Golami. But but at the end of the season, my game with Sizot I win that because Sizot forfeit the game. So
Oh yeah.
it's called a bit of controversy at the end. So I wish I could have a better ending of the season, but well, I will take what I have.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. True.
Yeah, no, and no, I can definitely understand. I understand that because if you want to, you want to kind of go through and play everything as in fulfill all the games. as they come in that as well. But did you win every matchup during the season? Did you win all the games, or was there a
No,
couple
no,
that you lost like
no.
2-1 or?
I lost a few games, but I lost most of my game were 2-1, and then I won 3-0 over Christopher, and
Mhm.
then I lost 1-2 again Golami. Yeah, but yeah, my because my strategy in headshot is that I always try to have my game win only two. So I don't usually go for 3-0, and then that explain. I try my best to get the two win, and then I drop
You can
the,
just
the,
relax a
the
little bit, and yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So and
Is there?
then so many of my games actually come down to the look of the draw, because yeah, you
Yeah,
know the
yeah,
quality of the deck and the
mm,
opponent over there is
yeah,
very high.
yeah. Was there a matchup or a game that you particularly remember or enjoyed during the season?
I I don't no, I don't think so. I
No, no.
no.
I
Mm.
mean, you just love crushing everyone, so yes, that's
No,
that's fine.
no.
That's fine as well. Yeah.
So, as we've heard, or as many listeners maybe know as well, you might be one of the players in nkfl that does the most preparations. I think certainly more than I tend to do. Uh, would you mind like telling like what your process is? How do you approach nkfl match or a hexed match versus an opponent?
uh so I make a matches for every of my opponent. So because
A matrix, like a spreadsheet. Yeah.
yeah, the press it, and then
Yeah.
the matches is like I put all six of my decks in the one column, and then I put on six of my opponent deck in another, and then I try to make to see how every matchup happen, and
Yeah.
then yeah, that that take a lot of time, but I, unlike many player in diamond, I have no wife and I have no kids, so time is all I have.
Yeah.
And then at the first few season, I basically practice every single matchup in the magic, so it
Oh wow. So
took
you just do one game of each matchup.
at least so yeah,
Wow.
it will be like 36 games per opponent. But that process took a lot of time, and then after some time I realized it's not actually practical at all, because me and then I learned that myself, and then the opponent play very much different, and then and because of that I may have a misconception about how the match play out. But for example, sometimes I think that in this matchup my deck is stronger, but when we play it, my deck is actually is a weaker one. So so that's why I decide I have to stop doing that, and then I only focus on making analysis
Mm.
just by looking at it.
Mm.
I still play my opponent deck at least one, because I want to know how they play out, and also I can also take notes that what I need to be careful about when I play again that deck. But
Yeah.
it took less time. It take less time to repair compared to before.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's how I prepare
Mm.
for my game.
Okay. And you mentioned that you went for you go for a strategy where you want to go 2-1 versus
Yeah.
your opponent's deck. Like you want to ensure that you have two winning decks in your lineup. So how does that affect like the banning uh, and how you protect your decks?
Yeah, so my lineup is actually very best, so because I have a again card deck that everyone will ban it, and even if they don't, that deck can also uh, win game. So I feel a lineup around that deck. so that even if
Mm.
opponent pen it or not, I can still have the deck that play very similar to the Genka. So I don't have to worry about my opponent first ban. Then I focus so that I will always have a good matchup in the first game. Or if I cannot, I will focus on the third game. And usually I give up on the second game.
Mm.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think there are a lot of like people entering NKFL or trying out Texas for the first time, maybe. That there are a lot of depth in how to approach like the banning phase. It's just not like this deck is the strongest, but it's like what damage can these decks do to my lineup in particular, which
Yeah.
is not always the same. So interesting. Um,
Did you change your lineup in going into last season from the season before? Did you make any changes for the previous season, or was it a lineup that you had from before?
So
In
uh season 21 and before, I actually had the sick deck problem where the last deck of my doesn't actually do anything. I I would be either have that deck with zero win rate, or I found out I could not make a good matchup for it, so I didn't play it at all. So
mm,
basically, I play all the season before with only 5 deck, and then
I
season 22 is the was the first time I actually have 6 deck that I could play in many situations.
mm,
Yes. And then I brought 2 Wind of Exchange deck into my player. One of them performed really solid, and then another one is okay, not so great but acceptable. Uh, yeah.
hmm. And how about like the opponent's lineups? Since obviously Winds of Exchange was a new set going into the last season, did you see a meta change in the Diamond division? Like what impact did Winds of Exchange have there?
Yeah, there there was a few very solid Wind of Exchange deck in Diamond, but I don't think Wind of Exchange impact very much in the meta that season, because most of the Diamond player at season 22 do not bring Wind of Exchange deck as all. You can like Street of First and Viper, and then you also Argenon. You didn't
Hmm.
bring any Wind of Exchange deck, so
Yeah,
only Sizot with 6 Wind of Exchange, but I don't think he were very serious at that time.
yeah,
So yeah, and then the diamond meta is on about the speed of the game. So I don't think Wind of Exchange actually change anything. There is a few good deck, but they also reliable on the how fast they can win. So
mm,
so yeah,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'm very lucky because I have my store, so I can play KeyForge and like anytime I want. So I have a lot of people help me to practice the matchup, and then yeah.
hmm.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So you get a bit of outside
I suppose you
influence
also
in there
have.
as well.
I suppose you also have had some time to look at the spreadsheet or the document for the coming season, season 23. Like, how do you see Grim Reminders making an entrance into the Diamond division? Do you think that will be a meta change or more impactful?
Yeah, it's very interesting. But of course, because Sizot limit the set into only allow you to bring 2 Grim Reminder deck. So I don't think the Grim Reminder will affect will change the meta as much, because only two deck per player.
Mm,
I check the NKPL spreadsheet, and then I think there will be some very solid deck, but but it set the Grim Reminder is a very complicated set. I think we need to have more time to actually see how it's played, and then how the deck can be formed, especially again the best deck among all the sets.
Mm.
So it's different from the Wheel of the Chain. I think we only need like a month or so we can play Wheel of the Chain good enough. But I think Group Reminder we need more time to practice the set.
Yeah. And I suppose, like, maybe my own theory is that it will have more of an impact in the lower divisions, since the set is more likely to improve a lot of lineups in maybe bronze and below, for example.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the diamond, like in the diamond division, you have the best decks, really solid collections already. So
Yeah, it's true. So let's
um,
see. Let us see, because I think there were already two game in diamond, and we already. But I didn't know. I didn't check if there is any matchup between Grim Reminder and the other sets. But I think it
mm,
could be very interesting to know.
yeah, yeah, it makes you want to have the full stats. I think between what sets win versus what sets. It's very interesting statistics. Um,
Yeah.
um, so, do you have like a special like method to pick decks for your lineup, or like how did you decide on what decks to bring for this new season, for example? I mean,
Uh,
I know Saramis, for example, he plays a lot of solo tournaments, play versus himself, in order to find what decks perform the best. How do you go about it?
I think for my method is that I practice a lot with everyone, my friend, and then everyone I know. Sometimes I ask online player like Karen, and then Sick of Angma or Mongogi. I mean, I will ask everyone I know to practice with me, and then I experiment with as many lineup as I can. So I will figure out which deck is good enough and which deck doesn't work in my lineup. So yeah,
Mm, okay,
It's thorough.
so
I think that's a lot more than I'm doing, if I'm going to be honest. So yeah.
yeah, same here.
That's a lot of thorough. I mean, it would be a dream of owning a game shop and just being able to be like, yeah, I mean, like everything is a part of the job. Like you ask a friend to play, you're still selling the game. You're asking someone to play the game. People come in, oh, what are you
Yeah,
playing?
you
Oh,
don't
great,
even
cool.
have to ask a friend. You can just order an employee to play. Uh,
Exactly.
that's
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I have six employees in my store because they are their own part time. So I have six, and five of them playing KeyForge because I introduced them to the KeyForge, and then so
Yeah. Yeah.
that explains
Nice.
why I can play KeyForge
Yeah.
anytime I want.
I mean, moving into, I guess we can move into finding more about what you do in Vietnam
Yeah.
and how, like, we see so much stuff. Like, you are responsible for KeyForge being translated to Vietnamese, especially Winds of Exchange and Grim Reminders. You translated both sets. Um, you're doing two store championships. Like, tell us more. Like, you've done so much for the game in that country, which is just brilliant. Can you tell us any more about like what that setup looks like?
Wow, it will be a very long story.
It's fine. We've got 2 hours.
Okay,
Do we?
so I start in
Did you not get the memo, Carl? Sorry.
No, sorry.
I start the game in 2020. So during the mass mutation era, at that time there were already a Keyforge community in Vietnam,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the community at that time uh, were not most. but also not big either. So mostly they are friends who enjoy KeyForge and
Mm.
play together. So I I I I join in, and then I feel like one KeyForge day a week is were enough for me. So I decide to do one more day in my own store, and then because I really think KeyForge it could be something very big in Vietnam, and but it needs a clear vision of how to grow a community,
Mm.
and how we should do in the future, in the close future, instead of just a club of fans. So
Mm.
the next thing is quite a long story, but basically I took over on the KeyForge sale in my city, and then I proud on other store under my banner. Basically I I I took over all the KeyForge in Vietnam.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
Nice.
but I gave everyone a very clear future of how KeyForge will grow in Vietnam. I promised them from the start that I would bring KeyForge official to Vietnam, and many things, but we struggled a bit during the pandemic. But
Mm-hmm.
fortunately, everyone still trusts in me during that time, and we still play. And then right now is the time I return my promise for 100 player who trust in me. I I
Mm.
I translate the game, I localize the game into Vietnamese, and yeah, so that's how I I build the community in Vietnam.
Yeah, that's really great. I'm sure it feels great to be able to
Mm.
actually fulfill that promise to the community. So has the community grown a lot since you entered the community in 2020?
Yeah, I think at first we only have like 10 people or something. And right now, I think we have like 150 player in
Wow.
the
Nice.
whole Vietnam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
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 really
so
good.
great.
That's
I
really good.
I I I I, I really think that Vietnam has a lot of potential for gaming. If you look at the esport, you can see that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we play very serious in some online game, for some esport game. And
Mm-hmm.
then but the language barrier is very difficult in Vietnam, because the most you can look at me. You can look at me. I And then many of my players is like a young audience, so they don't actually focus on the English. So if so, because I local the keyforge into Vietnamese, a lot of people can access the game easier.
Mm.
So yeah.
So do you have a feeling for, like, is there a big part of the Vietnamese community that is also like involved in leagues? I know there are some, but would you say most of them play locally, or are there like loads on playing on TCO, for example?
Most of them play locally, because as you can see, we can play mostly any day with one. So most of the player here doesn't like to play online, but some of
Mm.
them some of them will play on TCO, and a few, very few of player will introduce into online league by me. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, it definitely. If I haven't, if I'm playing against someone new, I don't know. I go, okay, cool. Where are you from? What's time zone? Is it? Oh yeah, I'm from Vietnam. Yeah, there they go. I know Riku. Like most players that I play now that I haven't played before are from Vietnam now and know you. Um, so yeah, that's. I think the league is growing because of you as well.
Yeah.
um, the players coming in,
It's
which
also
is
very, very
yeah,
nice to hear, since there is
yeah,
like some doom and
and everyone's
gloom in the
friendly.
community
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
And it's very nice to hear like what you actually can do with enough determination and
yeah.
like building a local community, because there are other communities as well, like in South America, for example, that is seems to be
Mm,
growing quite fast. So that's
yeah.
really great.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we all know like that Ghost Galaxy are doing an amazing job with the resources that they have. Um, and but us like internationally, we love the game, so we're doing everything we can internationally to help the game succeed. And I think you what you've done, Riku, is a something that we can all look up to say actually, like Carl said, put enough. If you're determined enough, you can do that and you can push it. Then you can create a really good gaming community
Yeah.
by doing that. So yeah, thank you for showing us that how to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But speaking about that, like, have you noticed like what difference has it made for you in your community building or like KeyForge in general in Vietnam for you when since GG has taken over? Like, obviously now you are gonna have a Voltor in Vietnam this summer.
Uh,
That didn't happen
yeah.
before.
As I say before, there is no official board game or card game distributor in Vietnam. So, so because I after I took over, and then I get the stock by myself from directly from the printing house, and it's helped a lot to distribute the key fork into the community,
Mm.
and so that's yeah. But before that, we have no official distributor, so it's also explain why we have no OP or anything.
No.
We are so used to have to not having any support. So for us during the pandemic, it's actually the same. Actually
Yeah.
say when you during the pandemic, if you come to, go to went to the Facebook or the Discord, you will see everyone would say like there's no longer OP or something. But
Mm.
for the Vietnam, we because we didn't have any from the start, so we were like okay, it's
Yeah.
normal first, and then
Yeah.
because God Galaxy took over and let us localize KeyForge, and then it's actually help because right now for now we have official OP, and then we have official KeyForge decks that in Vietnamese. So yeah, I think the God Galaxy took over the game, help Vietnamese grow a lot.
Mm.
Mm. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. What's next though? Because you got it in two stores so far, right?
Sorry.
In Vietnam, how many stores in Vietnam are selling?
Right now, actually we have more than two, but only two the other like the key for classic, and then we have like four orders, but much more smaller.
Mm.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually haven't have I have not figured out if uh I should expand it into more stores, or I should focus on the currently store. I have not figured out about that yet, but maybe in 1 or 2 months later I will see.
Mm. Ah, okay. So do you have like some general advice for how to how to succeed with this community building, like for other people who wants to build their own
No, good question.
communities?
Yeah.
Uh, so my so I think it will be there are a lot of things I want to say, but it will be depend on how the market, how the culture in every country, and then how the community different. So the only thing I think I can say is that consistency is the key. When I
Consistency is key. I like it. Yeah.
yeah. So when I first start my community, my own store only have four player for the key for day, but I keep that happen for for every week, and we didn't fail to make it happen for the last 4 years, and
Wow.
by doing so, whenever there is a new player, they came with us, and they see if that's a game, they can put effort into the game and do not have to worry about one day nobody would stop playing or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, so because of that, more player will come, and then see that we have fun, and then we love the game, and then we play it every week, and then they decide to stay with us, and that's the thing I want to mention, that consistency is very important to build a community.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I really like that. Consistency really is key. Just pushing on, pushing on, pushing on. Awesome. No, that's. I mean, like I said, that is like I can't think of the word.
Speechless. You're speechless.
I am speechless. I am speechless. I'm thinking in Swedish here, which is not. Which it would help Karl. It wouldn't help anyone else.
Yeah.
Like but what I'm trying to say is like repeating what I said earlier. Like the work you've done is just brilliant out there,
Yeah.
and so it's really nice to hear everything you've done, and it's inspiration. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Inspiration.
Yeah.
I think you can inspire a lot of people to do that and to help transform their communities as well. So huge thank you from huge thank you from the Vietnam people, which I do not represent. But I'm pretty sure the Vietnam players would want to say thank you to you. But what I want to know.
Nice transition. But we can also say like the international community or the online community should also thank Riku because Riku is also setting up this wonderful team league.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I want to ask about because
nice.
now
transition then.
Yeah, we transitioned from Vietnam thanking Riku. Now we can transition into the world thanking you, and actually thanking both of you because both of you have given us the KeyForge Team League, kind of taking on the essentially the baton because we had KeyForge Online team events and then you had Swindle team events, which is kind of paused for the moment. But then you kind of took this in instead of doing an event or like a tournament like that, actually coming into doing a team league. Which kind of feels like more of an ongoing league basis thing and really exciting. So both of you, like, how did you come up with like thinking actually this is what we're missing again now?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Riku answer that because Riku was the one approaching me, asking if I wanted to co-host that with him.
Yeah, it's actually very simple. I just one day I because there were quota before the team league a very long time ago. I think we played it during before the pandemic, and then after that we have the window team event, and then after that we have the World Cup from Sizot, and then I feel like maybe we need some event that we can make a team and then we can play together and have fun. So yeah, and I miss the time of Kote and Window, so I came to Agenon and then I asked him let's make one, and then yeah, that's all.
Yeah. And I think also like I really like the simplicity of the format there, and I very much like the like selected roles that I, as an appreciator of adaptive, can actually focus only on that.
You like adaptive, really?
Yeah, and I mean, some people don't really like adaptive, so it's good for them to be able to avoid it. Because
then they just need to adapt, right?
Yeah, they need to adapt. Because like we have ABR, which is crazy, like different formats every week.
Yeah. I did one season. I loved it.
Yeah, it's great fun, but I also really appreciate this the simplicity and the structure here. So yeah.
Well, I didn't realize until last minute was that you're actually stuck with like for the whole season. You're stuck with that one format because I was saying to Murph, we can just switch backwards and forwards between Archon and Adaptive because Dave Cordero really wanted to go with Triad.
I think Murph really stitched you up then, because I think Murph knew exactly what was happening.
Yeah. But to me, I was like, I like playing my own decks because I'm familiar with them, and I needed to be familiar with something, and I need to be familiar with something good enough to be an Archon. So I said, like, yeah, I'll take adaptive if I can. But I was thinking, yeah, we could switch between, because I know Worth likes his adaptive as well, with his
Nah, he should, I suppose.
Kargi stuff there as well. But yeah, we're doing not that well.
But how do you like adaptive, Jason? Now that you played 3 rounds, because you haven't been playing.
I've always been a big fan of adaptive because I'm a big fan of like no deck goes to waste unless it's like low AOA. Because I've got so much AOA chaff and Worlds Collide Bobnar. But I really enjoy the deck analysis that happens in an adaptive game, because you know your deck, but you also have to learn your opponent's deck at the same time. In a normal game, like you're not going to play your opponent's deck in an Archon game. You're not even going to touch your opponent's deck in Archon. So you don't really care as much about, I'm going to have to play this, so I need to kind of pay as much attention here. I mean, you guys, Riku, you're probably thinking that, what do you mean? I pay equal amount of attention to every single opponent's deck that I play against. For me, I don't. But in adaptive, I have to, because I have to play it. So I'm picking the key cards, how's this card, are they bouncing it, etc., etc. I lost 2-1 in my second game, and my Dark Tidings deck lost both games. And then they won with the Dark Tidings deck because I took too many chains on their woe deck. But he pulled off a combo, and I was like, that's nice. And so then I focused on pulling off the same combo to take the win back, for example. And so I kind of feel like then you get the fair analysis to go, okay, how do I want to take the third game? And I really enjoy, if you're going to play best of 3 of something, then
I find it quite interesting personally, because I never liked reversal at all. Like, I've always been like, I want to play my own decks. I don't enjoy borrowing decks either. I like to play what I actually own. But in adaptive, my favorite game to play is actually game 2, where I have to beat my own deck, because I really I feel like that's where your knowledge of your deck is showing the most, because you know how it loses, so you're essentially just playing your own deck in that game as well.
And I think playing adaptive, when you play someone else's deck in competitive adaptive, you're going to have a better time playing someone else's deck because they've put thought into bringing a competitive deck. So you're not just going to play any crappy deck that belongs to someone else. You're going to play a deck which they have said, this is good enough to play a competitive game. So I kind of feel that if you're going to play something else, you're going to play something interesting.
Yeah, it should be interesting, but also I suppose it should be not very transparent, I guess. Like, there should be some hidden stuff for you to figure out, like how to maximize. Like, in order for it to be an actual, like, a really good adaptive deck.
I mean, that's a really, really good point. Do you think I go deep enough to worry about that?
I don't know.
Adaptive? No, I don't think I think that deeply when it comes to adaptive. If I'm being honest, where I think, okay, in this deck I have to hide the big combo because I don't want my opponent to play the big combo. Maybe I should. Maybe that's a tactic. Maybe that will change to make me into the best KeyForge player in the world. I don't know, but
I don't know. I just know that I find the trickiest decks to face in adaptive is DT. Both since I know the set the least, and there are some like card combinations or card interactions that I just haven't had experience with, but also because how the chains affect game 3. Like, I bid on a deck that has to take chains, like how that like exponentially changes how the deck operates, and that is very tricky to get a feel for, I think. especially if you are not the owner of the DT deck in question.
Yeah. So, Riku, did you like the format of KTL? Who came up with the format of going adaptive Archon Triad? And do that? Was that an idea you had before you came to the Beekeeper, or was that something that that you came up to get with together?
I think it's for my idea. I think is it?
Mm.
Is
Yeah,
it?
you had the format idea.
Yeah, so because I remember when I first start KeyForge, I have heard about the World Championship team where they will play the same format where one player will play Action Battle Tree, and then one another one will play Child Battle Tree, and then another one will play Adaptive Battle Tree.
Mm.
So I remember that, and then I also remember there were the online tournament where they call it the saddle work or something. I don't really remember, but yeah, but they basically they do the same thing, but they do online because the world championship were canceled at the time. So yeah, and then when Sizot make the world cup, I start to remember everything, and then I think that maybe I should
Yeah,
put it into the
you took
team.
influences. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also, since you said, like when we discussed it, like we need some kind of team event where we actually can choose who we want to team up with. Since
Oh, right.
both, like ABR is, the captains pick the team, and then you end up with the team, and that is very interesting. But in the World Cup, it's also based on your performance in nkfl. So
Yep.
some players won't have the chance to play those formats. But here you
Yep.
can actually just team up with whoever you want to and have a good time with some friends.
Yeah. And I like that it's ongoing. Like everyone's going to have the same amount of games, and unless you make top cut, but like it's the league basis, so it's not like 2 losses and out or anything like that. You can just improve this season, have fun, and then if it doesn't go so well, come back next season. But you'll still have that same amount of games in the league thing. Where I think with there was a big top cut for Coates, I think, and some of the other team events it was you play and you're out. There's a lot of tournaments that I like to kind of stick to a tournament, and I'm really looking forward to that there. Yeah, but you got quite the team together, Riku, as well for KTO. So you got Astron on media and getting the people to record games and stream games as well. So you've got feature matches every week, which are coming out. So 3 streamers are streaming a feature match. And then you've got Hydro on rules.
And Blinking Line as well. On rules.
And Blinking Line as well on judge calls. Who else is involved?
That's everyone, I think.
Oh, is that everyone as well? I felt like Murph's got very, very involved as well, but I think he's just really enthusiastic then.
Yeah, and I think like for the feature matches, obviously Astron isn't streaming himself all the games, so you have different casters, and those are involved in that capacity. But
yeah. But I mean, he's done a really great job in organizing everything as well. So that
and it has been nice, like Murph and Exoc, for example. Other people has been streaming their games outside of being in feature matches as well.
Yeah. So he's got the streamers together and to do stuff as well. So that's the KeyForge Team League. So if you're listening to this and you don't know anything about the KeyForge Team League and you want to get involved, get a team together, find the Discord, find us on Discord, and we'll point you in the right direction. Yeah, cool. Well, it's kind of. I think we kind of run out of time for the interview, and it kind of turned into, more.
I thought you said we had 1 more hour to fill. Okay.
Time flies. Okay. I mean, if we want to fill an hour, I mean, we could start talking about, I don't know, a different game. You a fan of Star Wars, Riku?
Yeah.
As a film, do you like the film Star Wars films?
Yeah, I like the film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
I think we should stop the interview now.
No, I mean I'm not going to talk about another game. I'm not talking about another game. I'm just wondering like how yeah, like how I'm joking. I'm joking for those who had to suffer through our last episode, which we kind of half apologized for. But it's also fun to record. But yeah, Riku, it's been so good to like get you on and like for me like talk to you properly for more than an hour, because I think you popped into like a swindle team meet for half an hour at some point when I was on there. But yeah, really, really good job. Great job on pushing on with speaking English as well, because I knew you were kind of a little bit worried about that, but I think you did a great job. But thank you for taking us on your journey through your NKFL and what you're doing in Vietnam as well. So huge thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Where can people find you?
Where? I mean,
where can people find you? Like in like online? Do you is it just Discords?
Yeah, you can find me on Discord. The handle is Emperor Riku, or you can also find me on Facebook. It's Riku Wing. If you are active in the KeyForge Facebook, you'll probably see me somewhere. Yeah.
You're quite active there as well. Great, cool. Well, yeah. Again, thank you very much. But until next time, when we get behind the mics again, we say, first of all, good luck for this season, Riku. Good luck. Have you played your first game this season?
No, I try to contact. My first opponent is Dick Brolin, and suddenly he stopped respond to me, so I haven't scheduled a game with him.
Well, this will be out in the morning, so if anyone knows Dick Rowland personally, give him a nudge and get him to get in contact with Riku, because Riku needs to beat him to keep his crown.
That is quite the Clash of Titans, though.
That is a huge Clash of Titans. That is a big game. As well. But yeah, so we'll say thank you. We say thank you for you listener for listening to us. Again, we if you're still listening to us, seriously, thank you. If you came back after last week's episode, again, thank you. But until next time, we say thank you very much. Forge on and prosper.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.